We took on a machine. You're not supposed to be able to beat $70 million of outside spending, a record amount of money spent in a campaign against a Democrat in a primary in any campaign. You're not supposed to be able to beat that. And what we showed is that the power of our many is greater than the power of their money.
Also in the last hour, Haley Stevens has thrown her support behind El-Sayed as he prepares to take on former Congressman Mike Rogers in November. She wrote in part, quote, "Donald Trump and Mike Rogers want us to come out of this primary tired and divided. I'm not going to let that happen." Joining us now, NBC News correspondent Shaquille Brewster in Michigan. What more are we hearing from El-Sayed, who's still speaking this hour?
Yeah, Christine, he's still speaking right now. You know, he actually addressed Haley Stevens directly. You mentioned in that statement that she talked about trying to unify the party. Well, you heard a similar message from him as he had this first statement after not being able to celebrate last night at his campaign event. I want you to listen to a little bit more of what he said about Haley Stevens this morning.
To my colleague and friend, Congresswoman Haley Stevens, we shared a great conversation this morning. And I know that it was a bitter end to this very long primary, but I also know that Haley brings the best of herself to her work. She is one of the most committed public servants that you'll ever meet. She loves democracy like I love democracy. And whatever differences that we might have had in the primary, they pale in comparison to what unifies us.
And you also heard him preview the fight that's ahead. This is going to be a tough fight for a battleground Senate seat. Again, it's being held by Democrats right now. It's important for Democrats to hold this seat if they want to be able to flip the Senate in November. But you hear him right now, or if they want to be able to flip the Senate in November, but you hear him right now attacking Mike Rogers, who is his opponent. Mike Rogers, will hear from him a little bit later this morning.
Yeah, what do we know about Mike Rogers right now? I mean, he has said that he, Shaq, is looking forward to opposing El-Sayed. He's the candidate he's most eager to oppose.
Yeah, if you listen to both of these candidates, it seems as if they're both excited to be going after one another. For Mike Rogers, we heard him on cable news this morning calling El-Sayed extreme, saying that he has a socialist attitude. El-Sayed says that he's not a socialist, that he's a capitalist. But I think that previews the line of argument and the attacks that we are going to hear. We heard President Trump earlier this week using that same line of attack. This will be a tough general election battle. We know that Rogers, he did not have a primary opponent. There are not those divisions that you see in the Democratic Party. He didn't have to face that bruising, divisive primary in Michigan. So he's coming into this general election kind of running right into it, able to get his message out as he has been the past couple of months as the Democratic candidates have been going after one another. We'll hear what that messaging sounds like a little bit later today, Christine.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.